It's always funny because every time I like upload a video or start a live stream or something, I can hear my other tablet like alert. um, so today, well, yesterday, today, whatever, sucked. I got up kind of early and or whatever and packed up the laundry, and then went to had to bring this big laundry bag, my shoulder bag, and my skateboard to the laundromat. Dropped off the laundry, walked up the hill to Shaw's, and got something to eat there. Uh, just because it was too early for Wendy's or anything else, and plus I'm like trying to like save up money to go meet this other girl who I really want to meet. It's different than the situation with the girl who was 16 because yeah, like people still don't get that. I wasn't going to I wasn't going to have sex with that girl in Baltimore, Maryland. Um I just didn't want people to accuse me of doing it because people just assume that like I'm trying to fuck every single girl that I meet, which isn't true because if somebody had accused me, I would not have been able to prove that I didn't do it with her because they would assume that she was lying to keep me out of trouble, and she would not have passed a you know a a physical check because she's not a virgin. She hasn't been a virgin since she was like she said like 12. You know, so 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 it just would have been a potential for disaster. But there's this other girl who lives in another state who, she's above 16. It's a above 16 state. And they wouldn't even be able to question it. They wouldn't even be able to question her whether or not we had sex. Like in states like that, like she would have to initiate the complaint herself. She ain't gonna fucking do that. But this girl, I'm not planning on having sex with her either. But just simply because I need friends where there's no sexual element to it, because the whole sexual element is usually what destroys, you know, my friendships with opposite sex people. So, I'm not gonna just try to fuck every. This is supposed to be about today or yesterday or whatever. So I bring the laundry up and I drop it off, and you know, then yeah, I walk up to Shaw's and I get like this pre-made like cold chicken shit because you can't buy anything fucking hot on food stamps. And I take a fork from the salad bar thing, and I get yelled at for doing it every single time because the item I bought wasn't a salad bar thing. It's meant for like you bring it home and you like mix it in with like whatever, I don't know. It's like chopped chicken in like a container. So like yeah, it's like a plastic fucking fork. So I eat that, and while I'm eating it, I kind of like wander over towards the dollar store, and people are gonna say that this is rapey, but it isn't, because the interaction was positive. There was this woman who she was probably old enough. She definitely was old enough to be my mother, but she had like really pretty long. thick hair, an Asian lady, and she was clearly not a Mainer, and she was U.S. That's fucking buffer bullshit. Um, I I could tell that she wasn't from around here, so that kind of gives me the license in my mind to not worry about what I say. Kind of gives me the opportunity to be more of what you see of me online in real life, because in real life I don't really act like that unless there's a camera on, or it's somebody who I don't give a shit about talking, being an idiot in front of. So I start talking to her, and she can speak English like good, well, whatever. And I tell her she's pretty, and she was like, "Oh, thank you." And I was like, "You have very pretty hair," and she's like, "Oh, thanks." And I was like, "You don't really see what because it was really long." I was like, "You don't really see many women who do that around here because it's you know Maine. It's expensive to live in Maine," and she kind of understood that. So I talked to her for a couple minutes, and like I asked her if I could touch it, and believe it or not, that's not that weird of a request, you know, because like how can I explain this? Western people like us, we're taught kind of like these Puritan values about touching each other, like, oh no, you shouldn't touch each other unless you're married and stuff like that. But people from like eastern areas, unless you're talking about like Muslim countries and shit like that, they're a lot more open about like hugging and kissing and just letting people touch them and stuff. So she was just like, yeah, she just like turned around, and because her hair was in a ponytail, and just turned her back towards me and just let me do it. And I played with her ponytail for like 2 minutes, and I actually even filmed part of it. But I'm not gonna upload that because I'm aware that it kind of makes me look kind of creepy. Cause like I watched the video, and yeah, like from a third person perspective, it would look creepy. So I'm not gonna fucking upload it. Um, like I ran my fingers through it, and like I even filmed myself like sniffing it and stuff like that. See, even describing what I did is creepy from a third person perspective. I'm aware of that, and a lot of times when I say and do things that seem creepy, it's real, but I also know that it's gonna trigger people and be cringy. That's like that's being cringy is funny sometimes, you know. But I'm a little sick of just being treated like shit constantly, you know. I mean, like that's part of the reason why like I'm slowly migrating over to VidMe is because people who are gonna watch me on VidMe are gonna be people who want to watch me. It seems like on YouTube I get a lot of people watching me who just watch me because they dislike me. I don't. I really. I'd rather have a very very small audience of like two or three people who somewhat like me, as opposed to I don't know. But sometimes I think sometimes it's like I'm the biggest flip flopper there is. Sometimes I think sometimes like it's funny to me to like piss off a mass group of fucking people, like all the Haggy Rants people and all the Some Guy 827 people. Sometimes I find that to be funny, but then sometimes I'm just like, oh man, I wish I never fucking went on YouTube. You know, I mean, so it all is just like from day to day. How I feel about it is completely different. But yeah, so anyways, so that lady let me play with her hair. And oh man, that was amazing. I'm I might actually be able to, upload that just to a, in a way that I could make a profit off of it. Because it was shot in such a way that like you don't see her face. It doesn't, you identify who she is, so I could off of it, and I could make a profit off of it, and I wouldn't be obligated to track her down to present any of it to her. And also, who fucking cares, So, like, a Vimeo on demand video page or clips for sale or something like that. I know a whole bunch of people who probably would be willing to pay to watch that video. I mean, because it's like a good 2 minutes long. But I'm not just gonna give that shit away for free anymore. In fact, I was thinking about my next trip that I take, whether it be to where this other girl is or back to New York. I was thinking of doing what the Drunken Peasants have been doing with like these episodes that you'll have to pay to watch. That could work out good for me because it would be, a source of money, and also it would cut down the haters viewing my shit, so I could be, I wouldn't have to worry about that. And also, if somebody was to steal the content, Vimeo would go after them independently. So I wouldn't have to worry about it. So, anyways, whatever. So, I skateboard down the hill, down to the laundromat. For those of you who don't know, yeah. I've been skateboarding since I was like 15, and because I do a whole bunch of other shit that I don't fucking talk about, and that just happens to be one of them. So, I get down to the laundromat. It was like a couple of hours before the time that she said the laundry was going to be done. I just kind of stopped by just because I was near the place, and also like they have free Wi-Fi, so like I uploaded something. I uploaded a video while I was there. And then she came over. She's like, "Oh, your laundry is done." I was like, "Oh, I thought it wasn't going to be done until 1." She was like, "Well, the other laundry didn't take me, wasn't as complicated as I thought it was going to be. There wasn't a lot of colors to sort and stuff like that." So I was like, "Okay, well, thanks." So then I called a cab and, came home, and then I stayed up and I watched a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube and watched some Family Guy and stuff like that, and then I just couldn't stay awake anymore, so I laid down and I slept, and I missed tonight's Drunken Peasants, which is no big deal because it will be a video tomorrow. Like, in like 2 or 3 hours, it will show up as a video, and then I'll just watch it then. Like, while watching it live really isn't that big of a deal to me. So, uh, there was a point where I talked to the landlord maintenance guy, but I made another video about that already. The funny thing is while I was talking to him, I forgot to mention this. The neighbor guy actually came out to walk his dog, and like saw that I was out and everything. Like, I'm pretty sure he wanted to start shit with me, but I think he realized that I was talking to somebody and that it was most likely the landlord dude or maintenance dude or whatever. I don't know exactly what they call him, because their organization is kind of like not really completely structured. Like, everybody involved does different things, so there isn't a certain person who does a certain thing, which is actually kind of smart. But yeah, so I mean, it was a pretty shit day, and I'm kind of pissed off that I slept through the Drunken Peasants, but I can just watch it some other time. And now I'm like, I kind of feel like I want to go out just to be outside, but it's like too cold out there for shorts, and I didn't shower today at all, just because I knew I was going to be like running around with a chicken with my head cut off. It says I have one viewer. Hello, one viewer. Do you have the guts to talk in the chat? I think I have a pretty good idea who it is, but every single time I do like a live stream, there's usually one particular person who keeps showing up. Can't remember their screen name, but they're usually like the first person to pop into to watch, or it could be the guy across the driveway. Now it says that there's nobody watching, so they popped in and then they left. Oh! So, kind of tempted to just go for a walk or something. Or just take a shower, because I haven't showered all day. I don't know, maybe watch an adult movie and do what that implies, and then shower, and then just see how I feel after that. Alright, well, when this hits 20 minutes, I'm stopping. So, unless anybody has something to say, because sometimes the app doesn't register when people are watching, when, it says nobody's watching when people actually are, so. Alright, you don't have much longer. Getting close. Getting real close. Okay, whatever. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1.